Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing with drugstore makeup. That's one of my favorite things to do. As I was trying to come up with a video idea, I thought it would be fun for me to try out some new things, but I didn't want to do like a full face of new drugstore makeup. Sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming for me as well as you guys, I'm sure, because for me when I'm trying out a full face of new makeup, sometimes it's hard for me to know what my opinions are on everything, just because, for example, like if my complexion ends up looking good or bad, I don't always know what part of the equation was either good or bad, if that makes sense. So I recently purchased a few Honest Beauty new things. I bought their new CC cream. They also recently launched some powder blushes and then a brow pencil. So those are kind of the products that inspired this video initially, but then I went through and found a couple more things like this number 7 powder. This is new to me. It's not necessarily new to the market, along with a couple other things. There's actually some new things from ColourPop that I haven't really had a chance to try yet. So yeah, those are the new things, and then there's also some things that you will be very familiar with that I'm also very familiar with. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to start off with the skin today. I wanted to use this again. It's been a while. This is the NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Jelly Primer. It has such a unique texture, and I was trying to pick a primer and I saw this and I realized it's been quite a while since I've used it. So I'm just going to take a bit of that on my fingers and just go ahead and blend it out all over the skin. I really do like the texture of this product. It feels super hydrating and cooling, and it doesn't feel too heavy on the skin, which I really like as well. Okay, so now that we have that all over the skin, we're going to go into the new complexion product that I recently purchased. Again, this is from Honest Beauty. It's their new CCC Clean Corrective with Vitamin C. And it's a tinted moisturizer. It has a broad spectrum of SPF 30, and it also has blue light defense. Something that I really like about this already is that the sunscreen in here is physical sunscreen, which for me with my sensitive acne-prone skin is always a win. I always try to look for physical sunscreens in my complexion products, as well as my actual sunscreens, obviously. So it says to apply liberally and evenly 15 minutes before sun exposure, and it says to reapply at least every 2 hours. I probably honestly wouldn't reapply this product if I had other ones on top of it. I would use something like a sunscreen powder to just kind of dust over top, or there's also sunscreen setting sprays, things like that, that are a little bit more practical for reapplying throughout the day. One thing that I'm already a little iffy about is the shade. This is the lightest shade that they offer. It's the shade Fair, and it's pretty dark for a fair shade. I'll show you guys. I'm just gonna do one pump on the back of my hand. Maybe two. Whoa. Okay, that was like 2.5. There was like an air bubble in this. Here it is right here. I guess under the lights, it kind of looks like it might work for me. In like natural light and in sunlight, it has a very warm undertone. So I'm kind of not sure how exactly this is going to work for my skin tone. But again, this is the lightest shade they offer, so we shall see. I'm just gonna take this on a foundation brush initially. This is my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. And I'm gonna start to apply this all over the face. Okay, so immediately as I'm blending this out, it doesn't look too drastic to me as far as like the color goes, you know? It seems like it's blending in to my natural skin tone pretty nicely. But I would be curious to see how this would work on anyone who has even more of a fair skin tone than I do. If you've tried this product and you have extremely fair skin, let me know how the color works on you. Okay, I'm just gonna do about one more pump on the back of my hand. It gave pretty nice coverage. It's obviously a tinted moisturizer, so I'm not expecting a foundation amount of coverage, but I am going to try to build it up just because when it comes to any complexion product, whether it's a tinted moisturizer or a CC cream, I personally always want something, like I want enough coverage to where I don't have to wear that much concealer. But again, since it is more of a tinted moisturizer kind of a product, I'm not upset if my skin is still showing through because it's not marketed to be a full coverage foundation, you know? So I'm just continuing to buff this out all over the skin. Wow, okay. So I like the finish of it so far. Definitely has more of a dewy finish to it. I'm gonna take what's left on the back of my hand with my beauty blender, and I'm gonna use this to press the product into the skin even more. I'm also gonna make sure to blend the excess down the neck. Okay, so I actually don't think the shade is too bad on me. I was really expecting to honestly have an orange face, but it shears out enough to where it literally just looks like my skin. It definitely has a dewy finish, which is nice actually, especially for every day. It feels extremely lightweight on the skin. And yeah, I just feel like it makes my skin look nice and healthy and fresh. Obviously, I'm gonna need more coverage than what this gave for my personal skin. I've got breakouts and redness, but this is definitely a good start. I wanted to reuse my NYX Born to Glow concealer. This is new, but it's not brand new. Like I've used it a couple times on camera before. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this. This is the shade Light Ivory, and I'm gonna use this to brighten up the center of the face. I'm kind of wanting to go for like a fresh glam kind of a look. I have an eye look in mind that I'm gonna try out that uses a little bit of color, but it's also pretty wearable. So I'm wanting to keep the skin really fresh, which is why I felt like this concealer might be a good option to pair with the CC cream. I'm super into this concealer. It just gives a beautiful amount of coverage without looking too heavy on the skin. And it also has a nice radiance and glow to it, which I think makes the skin look really, really healthy. So I've been into this concealer recently. I'm gonna quickly use the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. This is also a newer product in my collection, and it is also new to the market. I'm just gonna take the shade Ecru, and I'm gonna apply that over blemishes. I just need a little extra help over some of these blemishes I've got going on. I'm gonna let the concealer sit for a minute just to get a little bit more tacky, which means it'll help add a little bit more coverage. And while I wait for that to dry slightly, I'm just gonna take what's left on the sponge right now and apply it on the eyelids just to cancel out any discoloration there. Okay, now we're going back over the blemishes and just blending out that concealer. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there for now with the complexion. I'm gonna move into brows, and Honest Beauty recently launched some new eyebrow pencils. I purchased these off of Amazon. This is the shade Brown, and it's just called the eyebrow pencil. So it has a spoolie on one side. I'm gonna go ahead and brush up my brows, and then it has like a classic pencil that you can sharpen in a sharpener on the other side. So hopefully the shade works for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling in the brows with this. There's something that I like about a classic pencil. Like the texture of the formula of these is something that's a little bit more traditional and old school, I guess you could say. I'm just taking that and brushing through after filling in the brows, and yeah, I think the color is pretty good. Okay, I'm just gonna do the other brow really quick. You know what? I actually really like how quickly I was able to fill in my brows with this, and it gave me a very full but soft look to the brows, which I think is really nice if I were to be in a rush. This kind of a formula is something that I know I could reach for and quickly fill in my brows and it wouldn't look weird, you know? It's kind of foolproof in that way. I mean, at least upon my first impressions, obviously. This is my first time using it, but I think it made my brows look really good, actually. Okay. I'm gonna kind of hop around a little bit. I'm gonna move to the eyes really quickly. I'm gonna be using my Kathleen Lights and ColourPop's So Jaded palette. I wanted to dip into this shade right here. Hold on, I can't hold the palette. This one right here called Peridot. And I'm gonna take this on a flat brush, and I'm just gonna start packing it on the eyelid. And I left my eyelid tacky with that product that was left on the sponge on purpose, just to have a little bit more of an intense metallic and foiled lid look with this color. I feel like I've used this color before as like an inner corner highlight, and that's about it. And I was curious to see how it would look as an all over lid color. So I'm just literally piling this all over the lid, and then I'm stopping at the crease. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. This is such a pretty color. I love this eyeshadow color all over. It's actually like a flattering shade. It has a nice flattering undertone where it's actually pretty wearable. It's more wearable than I initially thought it would be. I'm gonna dip into this shade up here called Rose Quartz, just on a fluffy brush, and tap off the extra, and I'm gonna be using this in the crease and then a little bit above just to blend out that green shade into a shade that looks a little bit more like natural on the eyelid. Same thing on this eye. I've been wanting to incorporate more color into my makeup looks, especially with eyeshadow. I see a lot of comments that are encouraging me to like step out of my comfort zone and wear more color. And I totally understand what you guys are saying. Like, I definitely do have my go-to tones. I personally love neutrals. I love pinks. I just feel like they're the most flattering on me. It's not that I don't like other colors. It's just we all have our go-to colors or style of makeup. So you guys definitely see that a lot on my channel because, you know, I am who I am. I like what I like. I have a certain aesthetic and I love to stick to it. But at the same time, I am always open to branching out and trying new things. But at the same time as well, I feel like most of us on an everyday basis wear neutral tones, you know? I feel like most of us might play around with color or might every once in a blue moon do a rainbow cut crease. At least that's how I am. I know everyone's different. So I really do try to make sure that my videos cater to wearable looks with flattering tones that are gonna flatter most people. That's kind of what my channel channel is all about. I do love playing with color. I do feel like it's fun to watch entertaining makeup tutorials, but the goal of my channel has always been to teach you guys and inspire you guys with makeup looks that are practical and easy to wear, and a lot of those include neutral tones, you know? With that being said though, if there's a color that you would like to see me wear more of, that you guys are into or that you've been gravitating toward, let me know in the comments below. I always want to make videos that you guys want to see, so if there is more color that you want to see, let me know what colors, you know? And I'll be happy to try to incorporate some of those into my future makeup looks. Okay, let's see here. I want to do a little glitz on the eye too. I found this. This is definitely an old product to me. This is the Pop Beauty Twinkle Texture Blink Brilliance eyeshadow, and I really wanted to use this on top of the green. This has like a greenish yellow undertone to it. This is just a pressed glitter. I'm gonna look down for this to try to avoid as much glitter fallout on the face as possible. And I'm just gonna press that all over the eyelid on top of that green shade. Okay, that's that for the glitter. I might add just a little more to like the center of the eye. I think that combo is so pretty with that green eyeshadow and then that kind of yellowy green glitter on top. Okay, since we're trying a lot of new Honest stuff, well, it's not really a lot of new stuff, but we're mainly trying out new Honest makeup. I wanted to use the Honest Beauty mascara. So this is just their, I think it's just called mascara, and it has a primer and a mascara. So it's like a 2-in-1. I'm gonna start off with the primer. I'm gonna do one eye at a time. So I'm gonna first load up the primer on one eye, and I'm just doing the top lashes for now. I don't know what I want to do with the lower lash line yet. Once my lashes are evenly coated with the primer, I'm gonna go straight into the mascara, and I'm just gonna layer that right on top. There's one eye. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same exact thing on the other eye. Okay, I got a little bit of mascara on the eyelids, but I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. I'm gonna go back into complexion. I'm just taking my sponge and pressing out the complexion products one more time. Everything is looking pretty dewy, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just kind of like observing things. I haven't powdered anything at all, so I could definitely tone it down. Let's go ahead and move into bronzer. I'm gonna take my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade Sunlight. This is one of my favorite bronzers ever. Drugstore and high-end included. And I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and just start pressing this into the skin to warm up the complexion. I'm gonna kind of go under the cheeks and then along the hairline. And I'm trying to just do more of like a pressing motion versus swiping, just to make sure I don't take up any of that coverage that we have on the skin. So I'm just kind of pressing to blend. And then once I have just like the general areas mapped out on the face, I always like to take either my foundation brush or my sponge or both. Today I'm gonna use both actually. And I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and kind of use the excess foundation that's left on it to blend out the edges and kind of stipple over top of the bronzer. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and do the same thing, mainly just focusing this around the edges to make sure everything's blending nicely. I'm just gonna take a little bit of bronzer on that eyeshadow brush we were using, and I'm gonna run that along the lower lash line pretty closely, just to create a little bit of definition there. I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter. I feel like this is discontinued. I can't really find it anywhere, but I still love using it. I'm trying to use it up. Oops, I dropped the cap. But I'm just gonna run that in the waterline. Let's go ahead and try out the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Translucent Finishing Powder in the shade Light. This looks nice. I've never tried it before. So I'm gonna go ahead and first make sure that there's no creasing underneath the eyes. I'm gonna take that on a little brush and I'm going to press that underneath the eyes and then mainly in the T-zone. I'm gonna do a little bit on the forehead here. Wow, that's actually really nice. Look at the difference between this side of the face versus this side of the face. I feel like it looks much more flawless and airbrushed. I'm gonna go ahead and use the same powder on the other side of the face, again under the eyes and in the T-zone. Wow, I feel like that really melted into the skin beautifully. Whoa, okay, I really like that. Next up, we're gonna try the new Honest Beauty Lip Powder Blush. I picked up one shade. They came out with multiple, but I figured, you know, in these videos, a lot of times when I try to review something new and I pick up something new and there's multiple shades, if I buy all the shades, I don't always get a chance to try them all. So I just picked up one shade. I figured if I like the formula, I could always go back and buy more. I bought the shade Flirty, which is this really pretty hot pink. It definitely has a bit of a pearl to it, like it's not a matte blush. Let's see how this looks. I'm gonna take it on a fluffy brush. I'm gonna smile and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. Ooh, I really like the color of it. It actually looks nice with that lime green eye. The eye look is giving me Tinkerbell vibes. but I kind of like it. I love the glow that this gives. You wouldn't necessarily have to wear a highlighter because it gives a pretty golden sheen to the skin. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I really like how that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and take my sponge around the edges, again, just to make sure everything's super blended and seamless, but I really like that. It does emphasize texture a little bit. I have quite a bit of texture on my cheeks right now, but overall, I feel like it gives me a very nice, fresh kind of a look. So not too shabby. I'm gonna go ahead and take just the mascara side of the Honest Beauty mascara and put a little bit of that on the lower lashes. While that dries, I'm gonna do a bit of highlighter. It's been a while since I've used this Believe Beauty Radiant Finish highlighter in the shade Champagne Kiss. This highlighter is so pretty, so I thought it'd be a good time to use it again. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to the high points of the face, kind of through the brows a little bit, along the high points in a C shape here. This kind of blends in with the blush really nicely, actually. Also gonna run some down the center of the nose and on the Cupid's bow. All right, hopping back into the So Jaded palette, I'm gonna take the shade Pearl, and I'm gonna use that as my inner corner highlight. I'm gonna take what's left and just apply it right under the brow. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. And I'm gonna go into my Kokie Cosmetics retractable lip liner in the shade Dusty Rose. I'm gonna put this on like the top and bottom portions of the lip, and I'm gonna use my finger to kind of blend it out. And I am blending it down, but I just applied it on like the top and bottom right here. I just want some definition, but I don't want it to look too lip linery, you know? Okay, and then these are the things that I haven't really tried from ColourPop. I tried the Disney version of these, but not the other version. So it's the ColourPop Luxe Velvet Lipsticks, and I wanted to use them. I have been dying to use these. They are pretty new to me, even though they're not really new to the market. I really, really wanted to wear them. So this is the shade Can You Even? They have so many shades of this, and I think I've only tried on like 2 or 3 of them, and they're so pretty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that with the applicator, and then I'm just gonna take my finger and blend it out, almost to blur the edges a little bit. That's what's so fun about this formula. It really is like a moussey texture, which makes it so easy to blur the edges. That color is so pretty, I love it. Okay, well, let's step back and assess the situation. Definitely have some glitter fallout happening. That's all right. I'm just gonna take my powder brush and kind of sweep away any extra glitter. Probably won't be able to prevent it, but oh well. I want a little bit more blush. I'm gonna take what's left on the blush brush and just kind of pounce that on the apples of the cheeks to make that a little bit more vibrant. I'm gonna take a little bit of what's left on the bronzer brush and just kind of press that into the perimeters of the face one more time. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and just go right over the highlighter just to make sure that it blends into the skin and that it's melting into the skin instead of sitting on top of the skin. This trick always helps. Let's look at the brows really quickly. I'm gonna take my brow pencil, which I really do like, at least so far. I'm just gonna brush through those one more time. I don't think they need to be touched up too much though. I like the softness of them. Well, I might add a little more right here. I'm also gonna take a little bit more of my Kokie lip liner and just go over top of the lip color on my Cupid's bow and then just blend that in. I just want a little more definition. Again, just on like the top and bottom of my lips. Let's see here. Last but not least, I had a brow gel, where'd it go? Oh, I was just gonna use the Glossier Boy Brow. This is in the shade Clear, so it has no color to it. And I'm gonna run that through the brows to give it a nice feathery, fresh kind of a look. Okay, I'm just gonna take a teensy bit more of that number 7 powder. I'm gonna tap off the extra and then just press this right here over where I have large pores just to kind of smooth everything out one more time. Okay, we're already looking pretty hydrated and glowy, but I want to use my ColourPop Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist just to add even more hydration to the skin. So I'm just gonna focus this really on the outside of the face. I love this stuff so much. Where's my handy fan? There we go. I'm gonna let that dry. And then I'm gonna go over everything with my sponge just one more time to make sure everything looks super fresh and skin-like. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup look. I actually love how it turned out. It's exactly what I had in my mind as far as something that's really fresh and wearable almost every day, but also glam all at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's talk about the new things that we tried. The CC cream, I actually feel like the shade ended up working for me somehow. I am excited to continue to use this. I want to try it and actually be able to wear it for a long time. I'm filming this in the evening, so I won't be able to wear it for like like a full day. Based on just the application, I do feel like it could be a product that I would reach for on more of an everyday basis. I've been looking for more of a drugstore CC cream, especially one with physical sunscreen, so I'm really excited about it and I definitely will give it another go. I will keep you guys posted and I will reuse it on my channel and also try to feature it more if it ends up working for me. Based on my first impressions, I love how my skin looks. I feel like, again, it's a very everyday skin-like product, which, you know, is what I expect from a CC cream. So I'm actually excited about that. I'm equally excited about the brow pencil, actually, even though it gives more of a soft, kind of powder-filled brow look to my brows. I really liked it, and I liked how quickly I was able to fill in my brows. So again, I feel like it's another one of those products that I would be reaching for like a 5-minute face. I feel like both of these things are. The blush, the powder blush, is beautiful. My only thing would be that if you do have texture on the skin, to be aware that there is some shimmer in it. But with that being said, it also makes my skin look really healthy. So I feel like I would keep using it, honestly, as well. I'm excited to have a powder option from Honest Beauty just because their cream blushes have been some of my favorites for a while. So I really do feel like I will get a lot of use out of this as well. The number 7 powder, holy smokes. It looks really, really beautiful and natural underneath the eyes and in the T-zone. Obviously with a powder, I'm gonna have to see how it wears throughout the day. And again, I'm not gonna do a wear test with this video, but upon application, I really did like how it brightened the skin. It smoothed out my under eyes and also the T-zone. I felt like it looked really pretty. So I'm excited about this. I'm really, really excited to keep using this. The Luxe liquid lipsticks from ColourPop are so beautiful. I love the formula of it. I definitely feel like it's a formula that you might want to put a lip balm on underneath. It's not too drying like a liquid lipstick, but it does have some of the properties of a liquid lipstick, so just make sure that your lips are hydrated. I'm noticing that after I wiped off my lip balm and put it on, my lips feel a little bit dry, so I would assume that putting a lip balm on right before, just a light layer, would help with that. But the colors are so beautiful. This color, the Can You Even shade, is so good. I feel like the name is perfect for it because I can't even with this shade, you know? Was there anything else that was brand new that I tried? I don't think so. I feel like everything else has been in my collection for a while, but it was really fun to reuse some of these things. I feel like it's way easier for me to develop an opinion on new products when I'm not doing a full face of new things. So I feel like this was really helpful for me, at least, to be able to develop an opinion on some of the things that I've recently purchased. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. I love you all so much. I hope you are staying safe and staying healthy. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.